Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Hey, this video is called Conjugation 1.0, to speak or not to speak. Infinitives just won't cut it. If you haven't seen the previous video, which is on the subject pronouns, I suggest you check that one out first before we go on here, because I will be referring back to information that we talked about in that video as we move forward in this video. This video is just going to be regular conjugation, alright? So we're only going to cover the regular conjugations of AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs in the Spanish language. We will get to all of the common irregularities at a later date in another video. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so as I mentioned on the last slide, infinitives just won't cut it, and some people are going to require a quick reminder of what an infinitive is. So here we go. Alright, so the infinitive is the most basic form of the verb. You'll be able to identify an infinitive in the Spanish language because it will end in either AR, like hablar, or end in ER, like in comer, or it will end with an IR, like in vivir. Alright, so these are all infinitives, and what the infinitive does, that AR ending, tells us to. Alright, so it hasn't been assigned to a person. So hablar means to speak, right? And then comer means to eat, and then vivir means to live. In a nutshell, conjugation means changing the ending of a verb to show who's doing the action. We do conjugate in the English language, but when you get into Spanish and you notice all the many different conjugations that they use, you realize that in English we don't do it as often. And so the ending of the verbs that we would see in English, like if I were the one doing the action, we would say I run. Alright, and if we're talking about him or her, so he runs. Alright, so in English we have the I form and then we have the he form, but I also works for we, so I run, we run, and they run. It has the same conjugation. Alright, he runs, she runs, also have the same conjugation. So in Spanish, you're going to have 6 different endings in present tense conjugation for AR verbs, 6 different endings for ER verbs, and 6 almost completely different endings for IR verbs. Depending on what the infinitive ends with, AR, ER, or IR, it will give you the different conjugated endings to show the person who's doing the action. Alright, since I gave you guys hablar as our practice verb for the AR verbs, one of the first things that we're going to need to do, the first step in conjugation, is to isolate the root of that verb. And so every verb is going to have a root and an ending. And so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change the color of my pen to green. And I'm going to put a green underline under the infinitive ending of hablar, which is the AR ending. Alright, the rest of the verb, the part that's not underlined right now, is called the root. Alright, so we need to take the root of that verb and we need to put it into all of these boxes right here. These boxes are the same ones that we used to talk about the subject pronouns. These are the subject pronouns over here off to the left. I'll get the plural ones put in there for the plural side. But here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get the root written down in the boxes and ready to go. Alright, video magic. There is our root for each of the boxes that we're going to go through. Alright, so over here on the left hand side, just like I used green earlier, the yo form, the first person singular, the I form, we're going to take that AR away and we're going to put an O there. For the to form, you take the AR away and you put AS on that thing. For the L form, we're going to take away the AR and we're going to put in A. Alright, so hablo or yo hablo means I speak. Alright, so hablas or tú hablas means you speak. Alright, and then él, ella, or usted, which means he or she or you polite. Habla means he speaks, she speaks, or you speak. Okay, on the plural side, first person plural would be somebody else plus me or we. So we have nosotros and nosotras. Keep in mind, guys, that I often put the at symbol in there to show masculinity and femininity in the same place. So nosotros and nosotras takes care of both of those things. And the ending I'm going to add for the nosotros form is amos. All right, so nosotros hablamos, we speak. All right, remember vosotros has the star next to it because they only use it in Spain. And for the second person plural, I'm going to get rid of the AR ending and I'm going to put A with an accent, IS, or ice. So that's going to say habláis. And then finally, for the ellos form and the ellas form, which is shown with that at symbol right there, or the ustedes form, we're going to take away the AR and we're going to put an in its place. So once again, nosotros hablamos, we speak. Vosotros habláis is you all or y'all speak in Spain. And then for ellos and ellas and ustedes, we've got hablan, which is going to say they speak or you guys all speak. All right, so here in the ER verbs, I have gone ahead and taken the verb comer, which was our practice verb for the ERs. I have the ER ending underlined just like before. I have the infinitive underlined in green. Sorry, the infinitive ending underlined in green. And on this side, that means to eat. So comer with the ER ending means to eat. So what we're going to do here is I have isolated the root in all of our forms here. The yo form, when I am eating, so it's going to be yo, same thing as the AR verbs, yo como. All right, so the AR verbs went to AS. The ER verbs are going to go to ES. So tú comes. AR verb went to a, and then the ER verb is going to go to e. All right, so él, ella, usted come. All right, nosotros, the ARs went to amos, and the ERs and IRs, the ERs are going to go to hemos. All right, in the vosotros form, only in Spain, and guys, this got messed up. It looks like an E, but it's actually the at symbol. ARs went to ice. This one is going to go to ace, ace, E with an accent, IS. All right, and then the ellos, ellas, and ustedes form, AR went to an, and the ER is going to go to in. All right, so comen. So yo como, I eat. Tú comes, you eat. Él come, he eats. Nosotros comemos, we eat. Vosotros coméis, y'all eat. And then ellas comen, they, as in the girls, eat. All right, so for the IR verbs, we had vivir as our practice verb. I have been able to just leave the endings in their places and just come in and replace the root in all of these forms right here. So vivo, vives, and vive, and then viven. But for ER to IR transition, the only thing you have to worry about is the nosotros form and the vosotros form. Because where the ER went to hemos, the IR is going to go to imos in the nosotros form. And then in vosotros, the ERs went to E with an accent IS, which went ace. And this is just going to be I with an accent S. So is. All right, so yo vivo, I live. Tú vives, you live. Él vive, or ella vive, he or she lives. Nosotros vivimos, we live. Vosotros vivís, y'all live, but again, only in Spain. Ellos, ellas, and ustedes viven is going to be the third person plural for they or you all live. This is our super quick review of regular conjugation. We will be practicing with this in class. If you have any questions, hit me in the comments or send me an email and I will get back to you as soon as possible. All right, gracias muchachos. Hasta luego.